Thank you so very much. This is awesome. I love all the comradeship, all the support, all of the love, I'm just blessed to be here. This is my first time out of the country here in Dublin. I feel very, very welcome by all of you, by showering all of your love and support. Thank you so very much. And I just want to say that you all have the juice. You all have inspired me through pictures, videos, everything. You know, I'm very inspired by standing with you all to proclaim the statement that water is a human right. And most definitely, you all have, y'all stood the test of time. I mean, so many days, y'all have done the damn thing. People back in Detroit looking at this, looking at our website, looking at our webpage, they see all of you, they are inspired. You know, and I just thank all of you for welcoming us, you know, showing us love, welcoming us into your hearts. You know, this is what community is all about. So, with that, I just want to say, let's keep up the fight, let's keep it going, let's keep up the motivation, let's keep up the spiritual energy that you all have set forth, and on Wednesday, we gonna make it happen.
This song is on my heart. I have one question. How can we have peace in the Middle East when there's none at home? That statement right there speaks true. How can we expect things to get better across the globe if we're not taking care of our home? So I'm just really proud of Ireland for representing and for really standing together and understanding that this is not going to go away unless we do something about it. So you all are a huge inspiration to me, to Detroiters, to America in general, because, you know, we're going through a lot of different things right now. But I feel like if we lose our water, then we won't even have what we need to fight for the other things. So at the end of the day, you know, you can fight for 1,000,001 things, but if you don't have water, how are you going to fight for education and labor and all of these other things? So to me, water and making sure that your God-given right, even if you don't believe in God, the natural right that you have as a living entity on this planet requires water. And one of the questions that I have asked over the months for people is, name me one thing on the planet that does not require water. Not just people, not just plants, not just animals.
Politician.
But they act like it, right? Because, you know, they don't mean it. Okay. But when you really sit down, and I'm talking about take you to the micro, the phone you're holding, they use water to make that phone.
That's right, that's right.
The clothes you're wearing, they use water to make those clothes. The beer that you love to drink, got some water in it, baby. So this water thing is huge. You understand what I'm saying? And then you have to look, so that's the natural, or I mean not the natural, but the materialistic side of why water is important. The spiritual, natural, physiological reasons, let's see. All of us came to this planet through water. Okay? Our brain right now, if you have one, and it's functioning, it is sitting in what? Water. Have a look. Our body is more than % made up of what? Water. You get where I'm going with this, right? Okay, so this water thing is huge, and it's not just about. I mean, you can make it whatever you want it to be about. You got some people that want to bring down the government. They want to make the government pay whatever, and then you got some people that's like, don't mess with Mother Earth, because I don't play that. That's me. Okay? And then you got some people that's just like, you know what? I don't have the money to play these games, and I don't want to have to pay extra. So whatever your reason is really not the issue. The issue is making sure that whatever your reason is, you believe it and you're passionate about it enough to stand up and do something about it. This is about the world as a whole coming out of this dependent slave mentality that we're all in. You understand?
Yeah.
And really understanding that we don't need that too much. We can do for ourselves. We don't need, a handful of people telling us how we want to live, how our happiness should be, and all of that. So water, if we came into this planet, if we began with water, okay, and now we're standing for the right to have our water, okay, then that means that this water issue is the foundation of everything. You understand?
Yes.
Of everything. Okay? So when we, let me put that out there, when we win this fight against the water, come on, turn up. Let's get some church up in here. Detroit is in the house. So when we do win this battle against our water, which we already know we're entitled to because it comes from the sky and we came through this mug, okay? Once we realize, once we win that thing, then guess what we're going to be able to do? We're going to now have the confidence and the ability and the common sense and the comprehension and the togetherness, the unity, the communion, the community. We're going to have that so tight and so intact that now it's time to move on to other things that also are impacting us. And we will be able to say to the world, hey, you can speak up, you can say something, you can make a difference. I personally am a single mother of 5 children, and I found myself a single mother unexpectedly. I was married and, thinking we're going to grow old together and raise these babies, and that brother left. So I was like, okay, I'm looking at the babies like, what am I doing now? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I did find myself on hard times, and I wasn't able to pay my water bill. My water has been shut off 3 times. The first time it was shut off because of the system and the way the system is set up. It's set up to build properties, not people. So when I moved into my new home, it had an outstanding water bill. With that outstanding water bill, somebody had to pay it. They don't know the person who actually lived in the property because they build property. So I had to pay it. I don't have extra money to pay somebody else's bill. So I had to go without water for a few days, like maybe a week or so, right? Myself and my children. Then about a year and a half later, my water got shut off again. This time because for months and months and months, the water department pressed me to get a smart meter system. Now what you don't know is that in Detroit and in most parts of America, a meter system is just normal practice. I mean, we've had meters for hundreds of years. I mean, this is what we do. So for us, the idea of our water being metered is commonplace. But what's so significant is that, say for instance, when I was growing up, my parents and grandparents, they would get a $40 water bill every 3 months. Okay? And that was in the 70s and 80s. Now in 2014, the average water bill is $130 per month. Average. That's like the bottom base, boo. Okay? Who can afford that? So this second round of when my water got shut off, it was because the water department kept pressing me to put in this new smart meter, which is like a digital meter that really does all of your utilities and kind of monitors your usage. And so I kept protesting and protesting. No, you can't come. No, I'm not going to let you do it. No, 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 no. And they kept threatening to turn my water off. Finally, after almost a year of resisting them, they did. So what do? You're a mother of 5. You got to feed your family. You got to flush your toilet. You got to do some things. So I gave in, of course, and let them come in and put the meter in. So then about a year, and of course, let me say this, my next bill was extremely high. Extremely. Okay? And so then the third time my water got shut off was about a year and a half after that. And that was because of non-payment. As I was getting the bills, I'm calling them saying, look, I don't have $700. I don't have $800 to pay you. Can I pay in payments? Can I give you what? And they weren't willing to take that. They were like, no, we want all of our money or you're getting shut off. So I got shut off. It was a hot summer day. I've been working all day. My children have been out all day. And we come home ready to take a shower and chill, and the water is off. So now, what do? The main question people ask me is, well, what do you do when your water is off? I don't know what other people do, but when my water got shut off, I took about 10 minutes to cry. Okay? Just go in my room and say, what the fuck? And just cry and get it all out. But before I can wallow in my pity, right? My 3-year-old is at the door. Knock, 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 knock. Mommy, I'm hungry. So now reality kicks in. I don't have time to fight this and go through that and call. And I gotta, at that moment, figure out how am I gonna get water to my children? How am I gonna get water in the house? And then you really get to understand why water is so essential to our life.
That's right.
So for 2.5 months, we had to go without water in our home. And that was very difficult. So what do? After you work through the psychological trauma of not having water in your home, and after you work through having to explain to your children why your neighbor has water but they don't, okay? Once you get through all of that, then you have to say, okay, well, how am I going to do this? So I went to a neighbor, said, hey, Mr. Parker, he's retired on a pension. My neighbor, hey, I need water. Mind you, if you just look at my neighborhood or look at the block in the area in which I live, it's decent. It's nice. It's not the slums. It's not, the projects or the ghetto. I live in a house, 3-bedroom house, 2-story, brick, nice. So on the outside looking in, you would never know, right? So I go to my neighbor and say, hey, my water is off. No problem. Hook your hose up, throw it over the fence, do what you gotta do. So that's what we did. I went to the recycling place and got those huge, 10, 20-gallon jugs. And we got about 5 of those. We kept those filled up to flush our toilet and to wash ourselves and things like that. To cook, we had to go and get cases of water, right? And bring them in. The gallon jugs, we just would keep them, fill them up. So we had 20-gallon jugs every day we had to fill up, right? And I was really blessed because my neighbor across the street is a social worker. And in the city of Detroit, I don't know if it's a state thing. Is it a state law or just a city law about the children?
State law.
It's a state law.
State law.
So in the state of Michigan, if you have, or if your water or any of your utilities are cut off, and the officials find out about it, they immediately, within 72 hours, they can come and take your children. So mind you, I have 5 small children. I'm trying to struggle to get my stuff together, and my neighbor next door, across the street from me, is a social worker, and she can see from my backyard myself and my children every day going to the backyard to get water. It's obviously we don't have it. And bringing it in the house. And she was such a blessing because she never turned me in. I was able to keep my children. But that's how serious it is in the city of Detroit. So if you lose your water, you get 72 hours to get it back on, or the state can come in and take your children. And the people who are turning the water off are actually calling authorities and saying there are children in the home.
That's right.
So it's a huge systematic setup. Your water gets shut off in the state of Michigan, your home is considered condemnable immediately. So you get your water off on Monday, they can come on Tuesday with a demolition truck. You understand? You see how serious this is, right? So let's say you have grandma in the home. She's been working her whole life, and now she's on disability, she's elderly, and you're in the home taking care of her. This is your mom, right? Your water gets shut off, 72 hours, the state can come and make a reward of the state.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying to you? So this is way deeper than, oh, we just need more money, and we just want y'all to pay. No, boo. They setting you up for the okie doke. Like we say in the hood, they setting you up for they give you the underlay for the overlay.
Yeah.
You understand? So we just want to make sure we do our part. I'm just a resident. I'm not an activist or anything like that. I'm just a concerned citizen that I feel like everybody should be standing up and giving a damn on some level. So I'll do it until other people can, But that's really what it's about. So you all need to continue to do what you're doing, which is fight for what you know to be right, what you know to be true. Don't fall for the little jokey joke about, oh, we'll just lower the tax rate. We'll just bring it down from 700 pounds or whatever it was to 100. Don't fall for that. They setting you up, man. You make sure you let them know. Clean my water. I'll pay for you to do the things that you know you need to do for my water, but I'm not going to let you tell me that I have a right to water or not. Like, it's retarded. So I encourage you all to continue doing what you're doing. I'm very proud to be here. I'm grateful on every level. I got some Irish blood in me, so I'm here with my cousins, you know what I'm saying? Hey! Okay? And we gonna do this thing. We really gonna do this thing. Because one thing that I can say factually and for sure is that the governments and the politicians and even the supporters who would go for such insanity, they scared.